Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here coming to you with a new How to Transform video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2005 Transformers Cybertron Clocker, as well as the Transformers Cybertron Brakedown. Now, as you can see here, these two come with red Cyberplanet keys. These keys are the signature emblem of the planet Velocitron, also called the Speed Planet, where one of the characters from my previous video, Override, is actually the leader of that planet. Now, a little bit of backstory for these two. Clocker is kind of the rambunctious, jump into it right away kid, similar to how Hotshot was at the beginning of Transformers Armada. As for Breakdown, he's kind of the seasoned veteran, and he's kind of the, hey, listen to my words of wisdom, even though half the time you're not going to. But overall, I like these characters. I like these designs because, for one, I think it's pretty dang cool that they had an entire planet just for racing. Like I think the entire planet was one huge track, racetrack, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, like I was saying, with the Cyberplanet keys, each one is unique for the planet that the Transformer is from. And as I stated in my previous video, each one of these cyber keys has a special code that when they were released, you could input on the Transformer site to unlock different bios and different stats for each character to see where they stack up with others. As you can see here, Clocker's key is S129, and Breakdown's key is S5F3. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you a couple of the features that these guys have while they're in the vehicle mode, and then we'll jump on to transforming. So for right now, we're going to move Breakdown off the side, and we're going to bring in Clocker. Now, the biggest reason why I love this, and it's not just because of the chrome-colored exhaust pipes on the side, but honestly, I think it's pretty cool that we have... It honestly makes me think of the DeLorean from Back to the Future a little bit because of the sleek design and, of course, the gigantic back on the back end of the car. As you can see there, there's the key port for the Cyberplanet key, and we've got the Autobot symbol right there on the front. Now, his piece for his Cyberplanet key can be used in either his vehicle mode or his alt mode. What you do is when you insert the key into the back here, it makes these two pieces spring up. Now, these pieces these little tank barrels or cannon barrels, you actually have to flip out by hand afterward. But I think it's kind of cool that he has a rear-mounted dual cannon on the back. I suppose if you wanted to, you could take the key back out, fasten them down on the side, but then he's going to be shooting at his windshield, so I don't think that would work very well. So overhead cannons it is. All right. And then with Breakdown, unfortunately with his cyber key, his can only be used while he's in his alt mode. This whole section right here, which is the motor, appears to be the motor of his vehicle mode, will actually come off, and then there's a port on the back side of it, and when you insert the key, this transparent yellow blade will actually flip out while the engine is mounted in his hand. I'll show you guys that after a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to transform Clocker. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove his weapon, and we're just going to set that off the side because we'll give it back to him later. Now, what I've found that can be difficult sometimes, so this rear section right here is actually going to be his legs. You see where it splits apart right there. Folding these out can be a little bit difficult. So one thing I have actually learned is if you fold up the exhaust pipes that are on the side of the car, it makes it a little bit easier. Kind of makes it funny looking, but still. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll flip open this tab right here and this tab right here. And we'll take this whole section right here and we'll roll it out like that, or flip it out just like that, and then close that tab. Come over to the other side and flip this open. fold that shut just like that. And there we have Clocker's legs. All right, so now what we can do is we can go ahead and fold the smokestacks or the exhaust pipes back down. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the whole front section of the car and we are going to rock this back behind him on a hinge, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and fold this out, fold this down, and then fold that forward just like that. Just kind of get it out of the way. So fold out, fold down, fold forward a little bit, because these are going to be Clocker's arms. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come right here and we're going to pull up on his head, which will pull up these two orange tabs on either side of his shoulders right there. And then what we'll do is we're going to take the 3 grooves that are right there, and right there, and line them up with all 3 of these little edges. And he is being stubborn. Get all those lined up. And boom, there we go. And then we'll go ahead and rock his arms back into place, just like that. And there we have Clocker. I think it's pretty cool that they have the idea where the seats for his vehicle mode actually become his arms. I think that's always been kind of cool, where they basically fold in on themselves like that, instead of like having the arms like built into the back end of the car where they got to be flipped around, twisted around, and whatever. But anyway, so there is Clocker transformed and ready to go. And we'll go ahead and give him his blaster back. Now you can put his blaster on in his hand on either one of these pegs. I prefer to do it on the inside peg just so it looks a little better. But there we have Clocker transformed and ready to go. All right, so we'll move him off to the side. And now I'm going to bring in Brakedown. As you can see here, Brakedown's vehicle mode looks like kind of an older style dragster type car. I don't know if these are supposed to be like exhaust pipes right here on the back, but either way, I love the aerodynamic design, even though I think in the real world, I don't think this design would do very well for very long. So anyway, so what we're going to do first, we're going to flip them over, and you're going to see this little spot right here. Go ahead and push that up with your thumb, because that will actually free up this piece right here, because we're going to be using that later. The next thing we'll do is, if you look right here, you'll see that there's a little pin tabbed in right there and a little pin tabbed in right there. Go ahead and pop these off just like this. And just like that. Just go ahead and fold these up. Then what we'll do is we'll take this whole section and we'll go ahead and fold it all the way down straight just like that. We're going to flip them around just like that and separate these and then fold up his legs, or fold up his feet just like that. Now this next part, you got to be careful with. I've actually had a couple of mishaps with other versions of this figure. What you need to do is you'll need to take this gray piece and it has to kind of roll up onto the shoulder, and then it'll kind of pop in place just like that. If you don't do it just right, they like to break really easily. So you have it in its set position and then just very carefully roll it up until it pops in place just like that. And there we have Brakedown's arms. We'll come back here and we'll fold this down behind his back. And then finally, we'll take this piece right here and we'll spin it around to reveal Brakedown's head. And there we go. As you can see, he's a little bit smaller than Clocker, which I think is interesting. But I like that for the Cybertron series, especially with the characters on Velocitron, they kept their size pretty accurate to how they are in the show with the toy releases. All right, so now we're going to go back to that piece we took off of him. And as you can see here, it's just the motor of his vehicle mode. And you'll see right there that he has the Cyber key port right there on the back. And like I said, when you insert the key, it will make this little sword flip out just like that. But what I think is weird is that you have to actually turn his arm in order to get him to hold his weapon. Well, maybe not. Sometimes you do. I just think it's really weird that, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if they made him just a little bit bigger, that would work, but it really doesn't, in my opinion. But if you do turn his arms to the side and then you bring his arm up a bit, he can hold that without the sword being floppy. But anyway, guys, so there are Clocker and Breakdown from the Transformer Cybertron series. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below, even hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And I will do what I can to get you guys some more videos to keep you guys entertained. Until then, bye.